We live in a world where we can connect with almost anyone, almost anywhere, at almost any time, and yet still somehow a lot of us feel more isolated than ever. So what does it actually take to build real community? Not just a network, not just a group chat, not just a room full of people, but the kind of relationships where people are known, encouraged, challenged, and able to build something meaningful together. That's what we're talking about today with my good friend, Johnny Levy. Johnny is a CEO, author, poet, connector, community builder, and he spent years, decades thinking deeply about identity, calling, giftedness, and what happens when the right people come together around a shared purpose. We're talking about what works, what doesn't, why community is harder to build than it looks, and why maybe one of the biggest mistakes we make is trying to do too much alone. Truth is, we are so much better together. This is Passing the Pulpit. Thanks for being here. Welcome back. People might not know this, but we are entering season 2 of the Passing the Pulpit podcast, which it's kind of crazy. And no better way to kick it off than with my guy Johnny, who is, I could talk for, I'm going to say some things, but we got CEO Johnny, author Johnny, poet Johnny, father Johnny, pastor Johnny, elder Johnny, encourager Johnny, just so many hats that you wear so well, and you're such a blessing to so many. And so I can't think of a better way to start season 2 than talking with you about one of the things that I know gets both of us really pumped up. So that's the thought.
Let's do it, bro. Let's do it, man. It's so good to be helping kick off because I've been with you since the beginning and way before that, man. So, so I remember when this whole podcast was just a twinkle in your eye.
That's right. The podcast was a bean in a little pod, barely growing.
Yep. But I got to be there early on the first season too. So
yep. It may have been first, dude. I have to check, but yeah, it may have been. But if you're listening to this and you haven't checked out what Johnny's doing, then you're so missing out. You're so missing out. You got to just jump over and check it out, man. So,
thank you, sir. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that some more. So I did want to talk a little bit about the genesis of some of this because throughout season 1 of Passing the Pulpit, we had a lot of really cool conversations and some different it was just a great time. I loved talking to people, and one of the things that really stood out to me was people's interest in AI, which has only gained more traction. I mean, this thing is like a out of control train at this point, if it wasn't already a year ago. But that for me kind of then intersects with the idea of, well, we got this AI train running. We've got, the digital world going full swing, but then on the other side of the teeter-totter is what we might call like genuine actual communities and fellowship. Would you agree with that? I mean, maybe I'm saying that wrong, but it's kind of like, got a couple things going on here.
I don't think you're saying it wrong. I think there's a train that we're on, and it's let's call it technology, right? And in general, the train that we've been on before AI even came into the picture was taking us away from each other, right? Like
there you go.
We were isolating. It was making us, the thing that seems to be connecting us is actually making us feel more isolated. And now there's documentation of that and studies on that, and even legislations and all those kinds of things that are happening because we're like, oh, social media is great. Let's let our kids use it.
Right.
And then all manner of terror breaks loose and
That's right.
and horror. And so I would say it's AI is a subset, but it's an important subset because it's so powerful.
Yeah.
And because of what it's doing. And so of course you and I are going to be interested in talking about what are the ramifications on community and connection, because connection is my life. I'm a connector.
Yeah.
I love connecting with people. I love connecting other people together. I know you do you have the same heart. You love connecting with people. And community is close to our hearts. And so we're in a world where that was already suffering, and technology is probably not even the only reason,
right?
There's also maybe just some core elements of individualism in our society that we've inherited that, that we're supposed to, where do we get the idea that we're supposed to always have it together? Not even,
or like you're Superman. Come on.
Yeah.
No way.
well, it's supposed to be, right? Like, right. Like, I mean, I'm telling you because it's inside of me, right? Like there have been moments that, where somebody does something really cool and I say, huh, why can't I do that? Instead of like, oh, what a beautiful
That's right.
kingdom I live in where you get to be you and I get to be me. And right. So anyway, that's maybe to expand because I like to start big picture and just say, communities it's always been under attack, right?
Yeah.
Like even in biblical times, I mean, what's Paul trying to do half the time? He's like trying to fix personal and relational issues
Yep.
in within the body of Christ, so that we can dwell together with peace, right? So anyway, yeah, I think that's where I'd start. Is it's been under attack. Technology is a subset of that attack. Again, technology is not bad. It's just it has this particular dark side.
Yeah.
AI is a subset of technology. How is AI now impacting connection? But I guess my question back to you would be: are we talking more about technology and AI as a subset, or do you really want to just anchor down into AI specifically?
Maybe neither. I mean, I think I was just kind of saying that, like, in season 1, it was really evident that this was a hot topic for people.
Got it.
And so that makes me then think, like, let's go then talk about the other side of this, which is getting together, gathering together, building faith communities. So that side of things, which is, I think, at least from what I'm seeing, I'm sure from what you're seeing, but like just more and more hunger for this type of thing amongst people, so wanting genuine community. And so I wanted to really talk with you more about, because I think in the years and years we've talked, I love the way that you try things out. And, kind of one of the ways you said it is like you throw things against the wall and you just kind of see what sticks. Like, and some stick and some don't, and you kind of are like, cool, well, that didn't work. I'm going to move on, and I'm going to keep trying.
Yeah.
Which is obviously a good attitude, because you're going to get discouraged as you're trying to build a community. Like, there's no doubt.
It's very hard. So it's very, very hard to do.
Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of curious, so let's just get this thing going. But for you, especially over the past few years, what has really surprised you about trying to build out these communities of, and there's a lot of different types of communities that you've done.
Yep,
So
yep.
faith, business, I mean, tech, so many different, but what has surprised you, generally speaking, about trying to build these communities?
Okay. That's a very good question. I think I'm going to tell the story of one community in particular. So it's my passion project, right? So for those of you that don't know, I'm my day job, or kind of my livelihood, so to speak. I'm the CEO of a tech-enabled research company in the media space called Data Joe. Shout out to my homies at Data Joe. That's my day job. But that's my assignment, right? So I believe people have, you've got your identity, you've got your design, you've got your calling, and then you got your assignment, right? So my assignment, one of my assignments right now is, be a good CDO at media service provider. But if you go back into calling, my calling is connection. It's to facilitate. It's connecting with people. I would define it. I've defined it. Like, I've got a calling statement. It's, I imagine a world in which all people experience the joy and effectiveness of serving others in alignment with their unique identity, design, and calling. That's my calling, right? That's a big mouthful, right? But that's the world I imagine, is like, we know who we are. We're all comfortable in our own skin. We're not trying to be something we're not. We find out our superpower and our special gift, and we're serving people at a high level around us because we know the gift so well. And there's joy and effectiveness that's happening in the world because we know that so well.
Yeah.
And then I'll connect people based on that. So identity and connection go together, because I understand your identity and your design and your calling, and then I'm connecting you with other people that can pour gas on your fire, or you can pour gas on their fire. And that's how I make a difference in the world, is through facilitating that, through personal connection and through connecting people together with each other. So on the side, I've got a bunch of different projects where I other assignments where that calling comes out. One of them is called Kingdom. It's a platform called Kingdom Superpowers and Connections. And so the way that this came into being was God was just bringing me consistently brought me just the most amazing people, like, throughout my life. I can't imagine there's anybody meeting more like just passionate, Christ-loving people who like are a beast also at what they do. I just can't imagine anybody meeting more per capita than I meet, because God he's just made me the magnet for those kind of people. So I've got these people coming to me all the time, and LinkedIn is a big way that I find these people. But then once you start finding them, then your friends start saying, "Hey, Johnny, you really need to know my friend," and then that friend, and I can tell you, bro, like it's like, then that friend is like, "You need to know my friend." So I literally have so much inbound, and so I was like, I want to create a place where all these people can meet each other.
Sure.
And so, and so I created a platform, a podcast platform, newsletter, called Kingdom Superpowers. That's kingdomsuperpowers.com if you want to check it out. And so it's like, okay, what I can do on this platform is put out content about how we are leveraging our spiritual gifts for kingdom impact, and just content about that to help try to call people up into that. Then also interviewed people, right? Like I've interviewed so many people on this platform. So I interview people, and then I get to unpack the gift that's in them, showcase that gift to the people, and then, let both passively and actively facilitate connection between people. Because, right, like it's one thing for me to say, Matt, you should know Joe. It's another thing for me to be like, hey, Matt, you should know Joe. Here's an episode where I interviewed Joe for 60 minutes where you can, and so then when you go and meet Joe, you actually have already been exposed to who Joe is and what he's trying to do in the world, and you're already a fan at that point, right? So anyway, now the question was, what was surprising about this? It's very hard, first of all. Like, it's hard. It's hard in the sense that even though I'm a person with a lot of relational capital, you're still asking people to trade their life to spend 60 minutes. Like, if I like I talked about the platform and the podcast and the interviews, but then there's also a monthly meeting that happens. It's an hour meeting that happens once a month, and it's like, whoever can come. I've got, I don't know, I think I'm up to like 70 people on the calendar invite. A given week, 20, 15, 20, 25 people show up. But so the surprise is, it's hard to build something that people trust enough to keep coming back to. Yeah. Right? Like, to trade their time, which is precious, for whatever it is that you're offering. Right. And so I've had quite a few challenges. We're on a year now. We're over a year of Kingdom Connections. And so one thing was the surprise of the challenge of how hard it is. Specifically for me, the administrative parts of it.
Yeah.
Like, just talking to people or being with a group or making an introduction, like all that stuff's like breathing for me, but it's like, send out the reminders,
schedule,
remember to add this new person to the invite, like all that kind of stuff. It's remarkably difficult to manage all of that. The other thing that surprised me about it was the resonance that it has. Like, in terms of when people do come, they are moved.
Yeah.
But they're moved by the caliber of person that's on the call, because it's invitation only. I invite my friends, who exemplify 4 characteristics: a deep faith, spirit of generosity, a growth mindset, they're hungry, and a gift, an understanding of the gift that they have to give to the world. Those are the people that I invite. You get those kind of people on a call.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's 5, 10, 20. That's crazy. 25. We're going to change the world. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you get them to start talking to each other, and they're just like, John. Like, that's the feedback I consistently get is like, Johnny, the caliber of people on this call is crazy.
Yep.
It's like, yeah. I sometimes forget that I'm in a very unique position.
Right.
Some believers can walk around and not have this kind of an interaction for their whole week, right? With another deep believer,
yes,
who's hungry and growth minded and like, let's go. You know what I mean? Like some people don't meet a person like that in their entire week.
Yeah,
I meet those. I'm with one right now. I'm with you. I'm with those people all day long, every day, all the time. Like as much as I can. So the resonance when people get on there and they start to connect, and then they do start to collaborate and join forces, and then stuff exists in the world that didn't exist before. Opportunities happen. People start to work together. But then there's this high trust because it's like, well, yeah, I know you're not going to jack me because, you ended up in this room because of very characteristics that make you the kind of person that's not primarily concerned with getting ahead yourself and leaving a trail of bodies behind you.
That's right.
Yeah. So the resonance, like they're hungry, and I did a survey too. If I could keep going. If I can keep going, I did a survey before I started this group, and I was and a bunch of Christian professionals. I just said, hey, what would you want out of a group, or what do you think is missing in the world? And the overwhelming consensus was deep interactions with people of faith, right? Like authentic connection with other believers.
Yeah,
is what we're just hungry for it.
Yep.
As believers, we're hungry for it. So I'm just like, come on into the pool, this hot tub over here of connection, because I got enough for everybody, man. Like, let's go. Come on in, meet your next best friend. So yeah, that's been a really cool experiment. It's going extremely well. It's continuing to grow. I have a person, shout out to Vaughn Moore. I've got a brother's kind of become my right-hand man. He's more of a detail guy and an administrative guy. And so he's helping me overcome some of my particular, areas that are weaker.
Yep. But you got to do it if you want to grow. 100%.
For sure. You got to.
Yep.
God made us to need you. See, that's the thing, dude.
Mm-hmm.
God made us to need each other.
Yep.
He didn't put it all in one person.
Right.
If you're feeling a deficit, it's probably because there's a person that you need to walk alongside to help you with that. So.
Yep. Oof, that's good. I'm just imagining, because you're talking about 70 people, and I'm just thinking about, the effort that you put into building it. Obviously there was you recognized a hunger, you recognized a need, you recognized an opportunity, and then you put you put a hammer in your hand and you started building something. And I'm just trying to imagine like the steps in this process where people kind of fizzle out.
Yep.
Because I, like you, but been involved in a lot of different types of groups over the years, and even been a part of a lot of even like leader pastoral groups that try to get going but don't. And it's just, there's just something about it that it really, like you said, it's gonna be harder than you thought.
Yeah.
It's going to, you didn't say this, but kind of implicit in what you shared is it's going to magnify your weakness. And are you going to be okay with that? Like,
yes.
Are you going to be okay with having your weakness on display for a bunch of really high caliber, amazing people to witness. And then if you do it, people are gonna people are gonna be pumped. And
Yeah.
like, what are you gonna do with that? But I am imagining, how these things fizzle out, and I'm also kind of just imagining the um remember in Field of Dreams? I mean, this gets quoted so much, but he's like, if you build it, they will come. And
Yeah. Yeah.
it's like
It haunts me. Yes, I know what you're talking
it's just like, but the thing is, it's so true. And the thing is if you're, you said it so well, but identity to calling to, you didn't say station. What did you say?
about.
Identity.
So yeah, identity, design, calling, assignment. Yeah.
Okay. All the way down to assignment, what it just begs the question, but as a leader, like, what are you going to do when God brings these people to you?
Yeah.
Are you going to organize something? Are you gonna like, pick up the hammer and build it? Or are you gonna kind of, because you could watch it go by,
Yeah.
and God's still gonna do something somewhere down the road.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering for you, where do you, because I'm sure people have seen what you've built, and then they have maybe asked you, hey, I want to do a similar thing, can you help me get started? Like, where do you see people fizzle out, or where do you see people trip up?
That's a great question, man. So I think the first thing you got to get is clear. You got to get clear, right? So, vision, vision for what you're trying to accomplish is extremely important, right? Because what happens if you're going to try to influence people and if you're going to try to connect and leverage people, they have to have something to hold on to.
Hmm.
And they have to have something that they resonate with and that they can build with you. You know what I mean? So I'm always, this was part of the challenge of building the kingdom superpowers and connections. The challenge was, I started knowing that I didn't have all the pieces, right? Like if it depends upon me to be administrative, then the thing will fail.
Right.
Right? If it
Right.
depends upon me to be connective, then it will succeed. If it depends upon me to be a visionary, then it will succeed. If it depends upon me to, you know, be the scheduler and the, rememberer and the secretary and the treasurer, it'll fail.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
so I knew that if I wanted this thing to grow to be whatever size, the Lord has put something pretty big in my heart to do. Right. And so part of it is accurately articulating vision, which I've done and continue to do with it. Right.
Yep.
And so some of the elements of it are, I learned this from my friend who, Alan Briggs.
Mm-hmm.
Always invited, never expected. Right. Because there are some venues where it's like, no, if you sign up, you better come and you better keep coming. Right. And if you don't come, then maybe you're gonna start to feel the displeasure of the person putting it together. And that's good. That, like, there are some communities that are like that, where it's like, no,
Yeah.
don't come here if you're not going to put skin in the game.
Yep.
But see, that's not what was in my heart. What was in my heart was, I'm going to create this space. I know you're busy. You don't need to apologize to me if you can't make it. If you make it once a year, that's fine. If you make it once a month, that's fine. If you make it half the times, it happens once a month. But I worked really hard to set that expectation. Like, come if you can. Never, if this feels a burden, don't come.
Mm.
Right? This isn't a burden place.
Yeah.
This is a come because you want to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Type of a thing, right?
No.
That's
Open
helpful.
house. Mm-hmm.
Because I could be really frustrated that there's 70 people on the invite and only 20 to 25 that come up, right? But I have accurately cast the vision for myself and others that 25 is great. 10 is great. 50 is great. Right? Like whatever shows up. So that's one thing. And then also I think the one thing I've done right is I articulate the vision every time, like, of what the time is. And so it's like, this is what this time is. And I start with a quote. You have 1,000 keys, but they're not to your doors. They're to someone else's doors. And someone else has the keys to your doors. The reason we don't know, or the reason we don't use our keys on other people's behalf, is because we don't know what doors they're moving towards. So the point of the call is, let's understand each other and where we're going. And then let's have a disposition towards helping each other get there. That's the spirit of the space, right? And so then the way that it works is there's going to be encouragement. There's going to be advice. There's going to be connection. And there's going to be collaboration.
Yeah.
Right? Those are the 4 elements of the space. Right. So, encouragement makes us feel safe and seen.
Mm-hmm.
Great. We're going to do that. Advice is like, yeah, man, I'm going through something and maybe you know something I don't know and you can help me.
Yeah.
Fast forward and accelerate. Connection is, I want to know, let's know each other. Let's connect. Right? Let's be getting time, apart from this meeting to get to know each other. Collaboration, though, to me is the gold at the top of the pyramid. Yeah. It's like, now you and I are going to put our hand on the plow together and do something really cool in the world together.
Yep.
Right? Maybe I hire you for a project. Maybe I refer you to somebody else. Maybe, maybe we start a joint venture together and try something. Maybe I introduce you to somebody that I know in my network that you need to know. Like that stuff starts to happen, right? And now I've got measurable real world impact. And so I'm always angling people towards collaboration.
Yeah.
Right. That's the purpose of the space. Yeah. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Right. Anything that's happening in that space, it's going to fall under one of those 4 categories.
Yeah. I mean, another way to say it is like you laid the foundation, you built it, but you just want people to keep building.
Yes.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yes. That's it right there. That's it right there. That's why, I kept putting the word out like, hey guys, I need a right hand. I need a right hand man or woman because hey, did y'all see I got the reminders out late again? Yeah, that's going to happen.
That's right. That's right.
Right.
Yeah. And I need you to be good at admin. I need you to enjoy going to the mailbox and opening letters. Like,
absolutely. Like, it needs to float your boat. Like, and so then, Vaughn eventually raised his hand and locked in with me, and it's helping me immeasurably with this thing. It's incredible. But then another brother named Joshua Aguirre, Joshua Aguirre, that's how you pronounce his last name. He came in and he's our first sponsor. So he became my AI partner. He's basically helping us basically work AI into the system so that that administrative burden can be off of me and can be off of Paul. Like, and it's just going to keep happening, bro. Like, I can tell I'm just going to keep bringing people in. Like, they're going to help with this. They're going to help with that because, right, I'm preaching collaboration, but I got to be exhibiting collaboration.
Yeah.
In order to be consistent with that. So, that's the tall and the short of it.
Yes, sir. Tell me about, so again, I know you've thrown a lot of things against the wall. I'm curious about something you threw against the wall that just did not stick at all, that you were like, what?
Yeah.
How did that not work?
Yeah. I'll tell you 2 stories. One is an old story. This is an old story. So, cause I've been trying to do this for a long time, like just build. I'm just a community. Like that's what I do. I just didn't know this. Like in college, bro, I'll tell you, this one doesn't count because it kind of worked, but in college, I had this group called the Kitchen Crew.
Okay.
And we were like rappers. we just built, we built this group and then I would put together these like spoken word, open mic poetry sessions. And I had this tight group of homies that would all just come together and we would just throw these events and we'd walk around campus. This is at CSU, Colorado State University in Fort Collins. We'd walk around and go to like parties and they'd be like, hey, who ordered, we're the Kitchen Crew, who ordered the rappers? No, nobody ordered a rapper. We'd be like, hey, this Kitchen Crew, who ordered the rappers? And then there was literally one time, my wife saw this, where they were like, oh, okay, go over here. They put us up on stage and we just started like rapping all day. And it was like, this is the kind of hijinks. This is the kind of hijinks I've always been doing, right? Like being facilitating that. So then I in those years I go to this college camp, or not college camp. In college, I go to this camp to work at this camp for inner city kids, in upstate New York. I get invited out there, and I join. I'm a counselor. It was one of the most intense things I've ever tried to undertake, because we take hundreds of inner city kids out of 5 boroughs of New York, bring them upstate into this natural reserve area with cabins and stuff, and then we just spend 12 days with these kids, and we're breaking up fights, and these kids are like hardened. Some of them are very hardened. They'll punch grown-ups in the face, right? Like just crazy stuff. But I remember I was like, I'm gonna start a Bible study, because I was a newer Christian, and I was like, that's what you do, right?
You were fired up.
Come up in this place, I'm gonna start a Bible study.
That's right.
And so I did. I started a Bible study, and
take them right to Song of Solomon.
I took them right to Song of Solomon. Like, yeah, let's get into it. The gospel, anyway. So I got something. So so I created the space. I put the word out. Nobody came. I was never able to get it. At multiple years, I tried to get it off the ground.
Wow.
Multiple years.
Meaning you kept, like, you kept showing up, you kept inviting, you kept trying, that type of thing?
I would initiate, and I'd start it, and then I'd try it a couple times, and then nobody would show up, and I'd be like, well, what am I even doing?
Okay.
And I would stop. Right. And then I think twice I probably tried it, and twice it fizzled out, because I eventually, not necessarily because I stopped, but because it seemed to me like it wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And maybe 1 or 2 people came, but it was very spotty and very disappointing. And I just remember really wrestling with the Lord about, like, well, what was that about?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this is, remember the kitchen crew? Ain't this what I do?
That's right.
And just total crickets, bro. Total crickets. So yeah, man, that was an early failure. I don't know if not failure is the right term, but it just didn't work.
Yeah.
And then
expectation changed, right? Like, why? Like you said, like, why did this work? And when you're younger, you literally, I think you wrongly, and we could talk about this forever too, but you wrongly assume that, oh, well, I did a Bible study for you, Jesus. Why aren't there 30 people in here?
Yes.
Like, this wasn't about me. But Jesus is like, well, I think it kind of was, actually. And I'm trying to help you grow a little bit. And you're like, well, you kind of go back and forth. And but no, that's a great example.
Yeah. Yeah. And I can't say, like, what did I do wrong necessarily?
Right.
I created the space, but people didn't want the space.
Right.
But interestingly enough, I did get to have some influence in the camp with my faith, but it was much more just how I walked and how I lived.
Yeah.
That brought some attention and affirmation from people. You know what I mean? And so,
that's cool.
Yeah. They people knew that I was a Christian. They just didn't want to come to my Bible study.
Yeah. There's a lot to be said. There's a whole lot to be said for the faithfulness of just continuing to try to build those things. And, even as you've been formed now into the person you are, like, that's again, if I say to you, what's the time that it didn't go as planned? And you're like, oh, I got a Rolodex to share with you, dude.
Yeah.
But those things have helped form you to be who you are. And it makes me wonder even because in your story, and I think in a lot of people's stories that we talk to, if you go back far enough, you see the giftedness at work. Like you said, I've always been a connector. This is how I wanted to do it. Started with the kitchen crew. Shout out, Brother Lawrence, and working in the kitchen and all those things. Like, it's awesome. But, like, that was in you. But I'm curious, and for those listening, same question if you think about it, but at what point did you maybe kind of embrace or come to grips with, like, oh, this is who I am? And maybe you shed off the going back to what we talked about earlier, you shed off that idea of like, I need to be Superman, and you traded that for, no, I need to be the man that God actually created me to be.
That feels like a birthday present. That question feels like a birthday present to me. I love this question. Because it does actually highlight a huge part of my journey. And so I wrote a book about 2-3 years ago. I published a book called The Superpower Quest. The Superpower Quest is a self-discovery process, but it's full of just kind of autobiography also, and some poetry and things like that. But ultimately, what am I trying to do? I'm trying to help people get comfortable in their own skin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to help people understand that they have a design. They have a rational design. They were designed a certain way for a certain purpose. And the biggest way to eliminate friction in your life, as far as I can tell, is to stop trying to be something else than what you are.
Yeah.
Right. That's the biggest source of friction is, well, my parents said I should be a doctor, but all I want to do is go play the piano. Do you know what I'm saying?
Amen.
Like,
yeah, for sure.
Like, we're all carrying all this baggage and all these names, names that people have spoken over us, and that not God, but people have spoken over us. And so quick shout out to the book Living Fearless by Jamie Winship.
Yeah.
That book unlocked a lot of this stuff for me, because it talks a lot about identity and fear, and how fear is the killer. It's so often the killer of identity, in the sense that we're not living out our identity because we're living out a false identity or a false name that someone else has put on us. And so, to your point, I can look back now and I can see this beautiful thread,
right,
that goes back through my life, and it's just such a consistent thread of the gifting that I had. But I don't think that I really named that gifting. It's been the last 5 years.
Yeah.
That I've actually been able to name the gifting. Like, I was the first customer of the Superpower Quest, right? Like, I went through it. I went through it as I'm building it. And part of my building it was like, how do I articulate whatever this complex thing is that God created? And I went, oh, hero's journey, comic books, superheroes.
Yeah.
That's all stuff that's really important to me from my childhood. So that I start developing this language. And so my superpower statement, which one of the gold nuggets of going through the Superpower Quest, is like, you create this thing called your superpower statement, which is a 1-sentence articulation of that special gift, that unique ability that God has given you. Right? Mine is authentic connection for mutual progress. Right? That's years. Those 4 words, right? Like 4 or 5 word phrase. That's years.
Yeah. Yeah. That cost you.
That cost me.
Yep.
A lot of hard learning to be like, oh, that's the design. That's a very massive design element of how God created me to function. So what I love about it is, once you know your superpower statement, it's a lever. And of all the levers, right? There's thousands of levers you could be pulling, but you find the lever that's yours to pull, one or a few, and now you start to pull that lever more and more and more, because it's the lever that creates exponential returns.
Yeah.
When I'm doing authentic connection for mutual progress, it creates exponential returns when I do it.
Yep.
Right? If you happen to go working on a spreadsheet,
good luck, bro.
That's a trickle of returns, if that, right?
Yeah.
Probably it sets you back, because I just do stuff wrong.
That's right. You broke the spreadsheet, Johnny.
You broke the spreadsheet, the equations. You just say to drag them down. Like, nah. Yeah. I'm actually pretty good at Excel, but I'm trying to.
No, that's a good example. That's a good example.
Yeah, but I'm not. I struggle being detail oriented.
Yep.
And present to details, right? So yeah, it's been the last 5 years, Matt, that that I've learned, oh, not only do I have this calling on my life, authentic connection for mutual progress, but then part of the calling is helping call out the names of other people.
Yes.
Right? Like helping other people. I mean, I've had people cry, dude. You know what I mean? Where it's like, hey, guess what? You don't need to be this thing that you think you're supposed to be.
Right.
Where did that even come from?
Yeah.
Like, why do you think you're supposed to be an accountant, bro? You suck at numbers.
That's right. You hate them.
Like, why?
Yeah.
Well, because, it's like I've had people like cry when it's like, why don't you, maybe you don't have to be that thing that you thought you were supposed to be. Maybe you need to listen for what God calls you. Who does God say that you are? And that was the second stage. So I wrote this book, The Superpower Quest, and that began a really incredible journey for me. Yeah. And I started to have some effectiveness in that area of being able to call forth the names of other people. And then I read this book by Jamie Winship, Living Fearless. And one of the exercises in the book is, all right, now I want you to ask the Lord to reveal the names that you've accepted that God never called you. Ask God to reveal those names.
Yep.
You want to cry a lot. Go do that, right?
Yep.
Go ask Jesus to show you the names that you accepted that he never called you. Why do we do it? We don't know.
Yeah.
Like one of the names that was on me was coward. I believed up until 3 years ago. It was my deepest, darkest secret was that I was a coward. And who could love a coward? I can't let anybody know I'm a coward because I feel fear. Like sometimes I get so scared of things. There were situations and people in my life that I was so scared of, but I couldn't ever admit it, even to my wife, because who can love a coward?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, let's get me now to talk about that, right? Like, gosh, it was there, and I'm telling you, bro, it was so deep. I couldn't even see it because it was like the water I'm swimming in, right? Like it just is. There's things we believe that we don't even know we're believing because they just are. They're baseline reality for us.
Yeah.
And it takes the Holy Spirit to create the level of separation necessary to see that that's a belief. It's a false belief.
Yep.
Right. But we all have them.
Yep.
We all got.
So the Holy Spirit, I'm stuck on this idea of time. Because to me, there's like an equation, like the Holy Spirit plus time.
Yes.
Learning, knowledge, wisdom.
Yes.
Because I go back to like what, if you and I were tag teaming a young leader right now and we were together meeting with them and they're, I want to build community. I want to do this. I want to do that. Like, how do we encourage and help that young leader knowing that they've still got years to work through in identity and calling and all those things? Like, what would you say? What would you tell that I'm going to say late 20s?
Yeah.
I want to build communities. I want to revive the Acts 2:42 through 47 model and, have a genuine experience. Like, what do we tell that person?
I've had some young people come to me for advice. And so the first thing is, in school, they teach you reading, writing, arithmetic. Like they teach you all the things. They don't teach you the most important thing, which is like, who am I?
Yeah.
And how do I work? Right? It's a cookie cutter system. Right? Like our educational system is a cookie cutter system. Here's a standard.
Yeah.
Meet the standard.
Yeah. I don't think that's up for much argument.
There's not a curriculum.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, there's not a curriculum. I never saw it, which was like, okay, and now who are you and how do you work? So let's get honest about who you are and how you work and what you're called to do. As honest as you can get with that. Let's start there before you do anything, right? Like the two most important things that you need to know is who God is and who you are.
Yeah.
If you know who God is and you know who you are, you'll set the world on fire. Like Saint Catherine of Siena said, be who God meant you to be, and you will set the world on fire. That is my favorite quote of all time.
Mm.
Be who God meant you to be, and you will set the world on fire. Know God, love God, know yourself, know who you are. So that's my first advice in general, because everything else gets built on top of that, right?
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're just going to be working in friction. If you don't know who you are, you don't know how you're designed, you don't know your calling, and not that you can just know that overnight. It's not that you can know that overnight, but there's some that you can know, right? Like, so let's find out what we can know. And I will say, like, Living Fearless, great book for anybody who wants to get unlocked in this way.
Yeah.
It's the third time I've recommended it, but I will say, Superpower Quest also my friend is great. But I would
resources. Yeah.
I would recommend Living Fearless above my book, because it's dealing with something more fundamental than my book's dealing with. It's dealing with identity at the highest level. My book's dealing much more with design. How are you built? But identity comes above design.
Yeah.
Like, who are you beneath all appearances, right? Like, that's identity. So that's the first thing is know who you are. And often when a young person comes to me, I'm going to approach them with that lens of, okay, tell me. Let me listen. Okay, I noticed this about you. I noticed that about you.
Yeah.
I'm going to start calling forth what I see. Oh, I see you think this, but you don't really like that. So why are you doing that? Right? And then the second thing is experience. You need to go and gain experience. And so I compare it to like you're driving your, like when you're in a car and it's stationary, you try to turn it, nothing happens. Right? Like, the car's got to be moving in order to be able to turn. So when you're a young person, you need experience in order to begin to show you who you are. Right? And so I'm generally going to be like, it doesn't matter as much what you do.
Yep.
When you're on the younger side of your journey, it just matters that you do, that you put yourself out there and you go and take some risks and you go expose yourself and you go, like, for me, that was New York and going to that camp. That was one of my risks that I took that ended up defining me. Right.
Yeah.
Like, I learned something about who I was breaking up fights with kids. 9 to 12-year-old kids who were throwing man-sized punches at each other's faces, right? Like, I learned something about myself in that place.
Yeah.
And so go take some risks, go try some things, go get experience, go see what you learn. Don't agonize so much over, should I go here or what industry or whatever. Yes, give it some thought, but at the end of the day, you ain't gonna learn how to swim if you don't get in the water, bro. You gotta get in the water. It sucks to get in the water.
Yep. I like to say, swing the hammer.
Swing the hammer.
Yes, sir. You got to pick it up. Swing that thing, man. Swing
it. Man. Yeah. You get tired just holding it up in the air, man.
Right.
Like, you go swing that thing.
Yep. Take the missions trip. Join the group. Go to New York. Go on the trip. Go adventuring. Go serve the poor somewhere. Go volunteer at a soup kitchen. Like, there's so many things you can do, and you're right. You learn about yourself. And I guess, circling all the way back to community, if God, okay, so we believe that God is who he is and he comes through on his word. So let's say all that's true. If God is who he is and he does this the way that he says he's going to do it, then, like, guess what? Light bulb. If you will just immerse yourself in community, God will bring people around you who will start seeing in you and calling out in you the things that God has put in you. It's inevitable.
Amen.
Because they'll start calling you new names. Oh, you're a hard worker. Oh, you're diligent. Oh, you're really smart. And, like, that's amazing. But you gotta go swing the hammer, man.
Yeah.
So,
gotta go swing the hammer.
Yep. No, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I wonder too, again, if anybody's listening, I know it would have helped me a lot to do some of these assessments when I was younger, do some of these trainings, read these books, etc. Podcasts wasn't a thing, but that would have been helpful.
Yep.
So I feel like the 20-somes are doing that kind of thing these days, but it is a good reminder. Yep. Like, you gotta know God, but you gotta know yourself too. You gotta try to understand your blind spots, try to understand where your potholes and pitfalls are, and where your weaknesses are, and and at least be willing to confront them and admit it, right?
Yes. 100%, man. I agree.
It's like, I don't really want to be good at admin,
Yeah.
but like, but I will get in a spreadsheet now and again,
Yes.
like
Yes.
if I have to.
For sure, man. And that's another piece of it. Like you definitely, you do have to reach a certain baseline.
Yeah.
You don't get to just be like, well, I'm not good at connecting with people, so I
Right.
guess I'm just going to go be alone for the rest of my life. Like,
Well, and
no, there's a certain baseline you're going to have to
yeah,
achieve.
yeah,
But, I told a friend of mine, I was like, hey, you're probably never going to be a 10 out of 10 in terms of organization.
yeah,
Right? What are you right now? A 2? Okay. You could probably get up to a 4,
right.
or you get up to get up to a 5. Now, just through brute force. Now, if you have a system, you might be able to get up to 7.
Yeah,
Right? If you have a person
yeah,
who's organized and organizing on your behalf, you can get up to a 9.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like there are ways we have to supplement our weaknesses. We don't get to just say, "Oh, woe is me, I'm not good at that," and stop growing as a human. That's not what I'm advocating for.
mm-hmm.
But you can grow with wisdom, and you can have grace for yourself, right? Like,
Yeah,
when I forget things, like our meeting, I was 5 minutes late to get here. You know what I mean? I was 5 minutes late. Why? Well, part of it was because I went to the wrong link, but part of it was because I had a call before this that went over and I lost track of time. Why?
yep,
Because that happens to me.
yep,
I get so inspired and excited and enthusiastic about whatever's happening in front of me. And my time awareness is a 2 out of 10. It's hard. Now, my wife's time awareness is a 10 out of 10.
mm.
So, you know what? I got to find ways to meet her,
That's right.
because I don't get to just be like, well, honey, sorry, my time awareness is a 2 out of 10.
Yeah.
So I'll be late all the time and you never count on me. Like, I don't get to do that, because,
could you imagine? Yeah.
oh, dude, my wife, dude, I'll get stomped out, bro. So,
Yeah.
you got to work on it, but then also you can give yourself grace. Like, oh, yep, I did do that. I was late again. Oh, but the weakness is because of the strength, man. I'm just so dialed in.
That's so important you said that too. I love that you said that here, even at the end, is like your greatest strength will also have, with it a facet of a weakness. And
Yes,
you have to learn to embrace that and be okay with that.
you have to.
Your and my collective love for people has inherent weakness in there.
Yes,
It just does.
it does.
But also, like, it's so beautiful in some ways. So I know we're kind of coming up on an hour, which, I try to be faithful about time. So what I want to do is kind of end with, because of your broad experience, again, as a connector, encourager, and you shared a lot of good nuggets today, but I'm curious if you could maybe share a little bit about what are you just amped up about now as you're watching the communities you are kind of, how would I say it? What are you really excited about in the communities that you're facilitating? Like, what's really going well? What's really getting you pumped? What's your kind of, I'm going to say this, but like, what's your prophetic unction for the next year or two? Like, what's the, what do you think?
Oh man, you're just asking me the best. It's like a buffet. It's like an all-you-can-eat buffet of good questions.
Yes, that's right.
My favorite question. In a single word, it would be transformation.
Mm-hmm.
I love being a catalyst of transformation in people. I just love it. There's years ago, man, before when I was newly married, we were in a coffee shop together, me and my wife, and she says, Johnny, what do you want? Like, what do you want in life? And it honestly felt like I had never thought about it.
Mm. You were like, chai latte? Like, what are you asking?
She's like, what do you want? Just I don't know what you want. So tell what you want.
Yeah.
And I closed my eyes and I thought, and I said, and when I opened them, I said, I want to be useful.
Yeah, there you go.
That was this cry in my heart. I want to be useful. And it was at a time where I was kind of on the shelf.
Yeah.
From a lot of perspectives, I was on the shelf and I I didn't see myself as being useful really. And it was like almost like a tear jerking, like yearning to be useful. And now I get to be useful. And part of it is the belief that transformation can happen. There's a lot of people out there that are stuck in the motions, or they're stuck in a situation, or they don't have time for reflection, or they're distracted or self-medicating through distraction or through substances. Like there's just a lot of people out there who are just going about life and they don't realize that they haven't looked up at the sky in a while. Right? And so we get the honor and the privilege to be like, hey, guess what? There's more.
Yeah.
There's more. There's more. There is an entire inheritance for you that's waiting for you, like that God has for you. And part of that inheritance is just you. You are, God gave you as a gift to the world, but also as a gift to yourself. Like you have an identity and a design and a calling.
Yeah.
And so when I get to see the light come into people's eyes, right? Like, and it's not necessarily because I teach a lot. There's a lot that I teach, right? I teach a lot about identity and superpowers and business and leadership. There's a lot that, and you know, I have managers right now that I'm mentoring, and I'm teaching them about leadership and about relationship and about handling complex situations. But often the real contribution is I see you and there's greatness, the image of God. There's a greatness inside of you that's just longing to be released and to come out so that you could go and just fly and have impact in the world and have joy, right? Because I think our joy, like real joy, comes from living out your purpose. Right. And so there's a lot of technical things that I teach, but there's really just a light switch that I'm looking for. Right. Okay. Which is I could, through intimacy with Christ, through reflection, through prayer, through counsel, I could improve my life and my sense of joy and calling. I could improve and enhance the amount of impact that I have. I could wake up. I could be more alive, right? Jesus said, I came to give life and to give it abundantly. I could experience abundant. How many of us are experiencing abundant life, right? But I could be, right? Like, but reason we're not often is because the switch, and I don't mean born again or not born again. That's not what I mean.
Right.
There's a lot of born again people that are a bit jaded. Right. Right. So,
right.
But
go back to your quote, your Saint Teresa quote.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Yes. Be who God meant you to be, and you will set the world on fire.
Yeah.
And so there's a switch that I want to flip, and that's what I'm excited about. I'm excited that I've gotten to see and flip the switch enough times that I know the switch is there. Right. And so then I know that I can be useful in the world by enthusiastically engaging with people and listening really well, and then calling forth the good and investing, and then watch what happens.
Yep.
And it's transformation. And now that person's going out there and living at a level that they didn't think was possible.
Yep.
That's
yep.
That's the gold nugget, bro. That's to be just one of the joys of being alive, is being able to be a catalyst for transformation.
I love it. I mean, you're a builder of builders, ultimately.
Yeah.
That's what you want. You want to catalyze the catalysts.
Yes.
And, you know, as you have moved through life, it's so evident that God has you in a place where you're doing that. And like, what a crazy cool thing.
Yeah, man.
It's so good.
Yeah. And let me say, that's not just me. Like, I have a unique flavor of this.
Yes. Right.
Right. Like, so less people listen to this and think, well, that's just Johnny, man. He's on one. And I am on one. Like that's just Johnny, you know, and his calling. No, you have a calling.
Right. Yeah, I hope that people, I agree with you. And I hope that people hear, even in this like really simple imagery that you shared, but there's a switch.
Mm-hmm.
There's a switch to flip. And and everybody has it. And there is some work to be done. Like the switching, flipping a light switch is fairly easy, but there is work to be done as far as, idolatry and identity and all these things that we have to work through for sure. But
Yes.
it is there and everybody has it.
Yes.
And you can move from the ordinary to the extraordinary pretty quick.
That's it.
Quick.
That's it. The Holy Spirit, right? The distance from here to there is just the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
And so I understand, right? Like where it's like, well, that can't happen for me. Yeah, we all think that.
Right.
We all think it can't happen for me until it happens.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Right? In God's divine timing. Moses standing in front of the Red Sea. He doesn't know.
Right.
What am I going to do? An army at my back and a sea at my front. He don't know.
Yep. Till
the Lord's like, he splits it. The Lord splits it. And now that homie's walking on dry land.
Yep.
He puts us in situations where we're at his mercy.
Yeah.
But it's okay to be at the mercy of a merciful God.
Oh yeah. Come on.
Right?
Yeah. Come on.
But we're going to, and so it's like, we don't know to even long for it. Like we get to place where we get so jaded that we're like, I'm not even going to long for this anymore.
Right.
It's too painful.
Right.
I'm not even going to hope for this.
Yeah. Well, that is the harshness of life, right?
Yeah.
Like you're in a perpetual dust storm, and at some point you're like, I'm not opening my eyes anymore.
Yep.
I got dust in the eyes. I can't see anything.
Yeah.
Forget this.
It hurts too bad.
It hurts. Yeah.
Or, I thought it was going to happen and then it didn't happen.
That's right. I've been trying to get this Bible study going for 3 years. Nobody's coming. They're punching me in the face.
Nobody's coming. Yep. And fair, like we all, I don't judge you for that. Like I get it.
Yeah.
How long did Moses have to wait for God to come and get him? 40 years, man. And then God's like, all right, I got work for you to do. Yeah. It's like, what do you mean? I've been a shepherd for 40 years.
Or bro, think of in Moses' life. Think about this. He had 3 40-year periods.
Yeah, dude.
Like you got to, roll that up and think about that one.
Yeah.
And we're, anyway, yeah, I think the ending note is obviously one of massive encouragement, which is like, if, just, swing the hammer, build the thing.
Yeah.
And I want to give this quick permission too. Like we've talked a lot about how you and I are similar, but I will say that even in the way that we interact with people, like I've found that I really enjoy the smaller 3 to 5 to 10 group.
Yeah.
Whereas you are really enjoying building these bigger groups.
Yeah.
And the thing is like there's a place for both those.
Yes.
And that's kind of another piece of what we're saying is back to your point of, I hope no one listens to this and goes, well, I don't want to build a group of 70. Like, I don't want to manage that. You don't have to.
Right.
You don't have to. Maybe you've got 3 people in your life that really want to talk about the book of John. Okay. Call up your local coffee shop and set a date. Like, try it.
Yeah, dude.
You got to swing. That's a
great permission. Yeah.
And then circling all the way back to where we started this whole conversation was, I hope, in this season with Passing the Pulpit, but with ministry in general, I agree with you. I hope transformation. I hope too that we find our ways back to the genuine, abundant community of mutual edification and support that, God has for us. Where, like we were talking about earlier, where like, I just know if I inject myself in these places that God's going to do what he said he was going to do. Like it's going to happen. So
that's right.
That's a massive encouragement. And I'll link the books and different things you talked about. I'll link the website, and I know you do Substack too. We could link that up. So get people linked up with everything you do in their show notes, and help them find you and learn more about what you're doing, and listening on some of these interviews that you got going on. They're so good.
Love it, man. Thank you so much.
All right, brother. We'll talk soon.
Thanks for listening. If you've enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with another pastor or ministry leader who you think might benefit from this conversation. And if you're looking for more tools and resources to help you preach and lead with confidence, be sure to check out sermoncentral.com/podcast. Sermon Central is the largest online resource hub for pastors and ministry leaders. From illustrations to outlines to media, you'll find everything you need to preach and lead effectively. So check out sermoncentral.com/podcast, where you'll even find a special podcast listener discount on our membership pricing. Check it out and stay tuned for our next episode.